Merhaba Tarkan, thank you for talking with us for BBC London 94.9.
Oh, it's an honor. Thank you. I thank you to come to Istanbul to do this interview with me.
Well, we are indeed in Istanbul, aren't we?
Yes.
I've had lots of very scary moments in cars and taxis in your city traffic and the different kind of traffic laws that you have here. Presumably you're more
individual laws.
Individual Turkish laws, I think. And of course the studio that we're doing this interview in is in somewhere in Istanbul, I believe.
It's actually like almost in the middle of Istanbul. It's like a different part of Istanbul, which we call Levent. I live here in this neighborhood, so I know this neighborhood very well, and I like it here. But the different parts of Istanbul, all kinds of different parts of Istanbul.
It's many cities within one city, that's how it seems.
Exactly.
Well, you're back with a fantastic new album, Metamorphose. How has it been received by your fans?
I think very well. It's a little different from the previous ones. I think it's more Western influenced, rhythmically and more electronic. But I still kept the Turkish essence of my music, I think, the Oriental touches, Turkish instruments. But I think it's more dynamic too, more up-tempo, BPMs are faster. I think it's one of my favorite albums so far.
I love it to bits, actually. I feel that there's a really nice range of tracks from, as you mentioned, the very upbeat Dili Duduk, for example, to some lovely ballads like Gün Gibi.
Yes.
So there's a nice variety across the album. There's something there for everybody.
I think so too.
How long did you spend putting it together?
1.5 years. Yeah.
So it really was a labor of love. I mean, you had to really keep working until you felt you got it completely right, and it was
absolutely. But I had to have a deadline because otherwise it just takes forever. So there were actually like 12 or 13 songs in the album. I had to take a couple of them out so I can release it. But yeah, it took a long time, especially in the studio. We spent like 6 or 7 months physically in the studio, like spending almost 14, 16 hours a day there. And I like the studio. I like to be a part of the production part and the arrangements of the tracks. Because I write my own music and lyrics too, they're really like my babies, and I really want them to be as perfect as I have them in my heart and my mind.
When you said they're like your babies, so many artists do say this about their musical creations. Do you ever get tired of your tracks? Because I do get artists saying that, oh God, that's the 150 millionth time I've heard that tune and I don't want to hear it anymore.
I do. I get sick of them sometimes because you keep listening to them again and again, especially in the mix part.
With everything looping.
Sometimes it's like one song is like a 3 hours long song. It gets a little tiring sometimes. But I love music. I just can't get enough of it.
And of course you would not, certainly not want to be doing anything else as a career. Metamorphose also feels like an album that can perhaps reflect your brilliant stage shows for which you are so famed for.
Thank you.
Who choreographs your stage shows? Do you have different people each time? Do you have any say in the lighting and the special effects?
I do. I really like the production part of every aspect in my career in music. Because some songs, they really have a visual picture in my mind. So the light and even the sound, I try to be a part of it. And I spend a lot of time during the tours too, rehearsing, talking to the lighting people and sound. I guess I just like to be involved in almost every step of it.
Well, it sounds as though as an artist you have an all-round vision. It's not just you singing a track on the microphone.
No.
There's involvement in the composition process, there's involvement in, obviously, the recording process, the post-production,
yes,
and then right through to the stage shows and the choreography that goes with that.
Definitely.
So you really have your finger on the pulse in every part of your career.
Yes, almost, but because I've been working with these people for a long time now, I trust them and they know what I want, what I really like. So I try to stay away from their the thing they're doing, so I can relax too sometimes. But yeah, often I always check the stage before it's been designed or anything, and I really like to give directions how I feel about the choreography, the lights, and everything, because the stage is like my home, and I want to feel like I'm home when I'm there. There should be no surprises about everything. I mean, anything.
Yeah, no silly wires trailing across in the wrong place that you can trip over as well.
Yes, definitely.
What is really, really important for you in terms of your live performance? And I'm asking this question in view of the fact that recently I saw a particular artist performing in London who has a great CD out, but doesn't seem to have any sense of showmanship. You know, there was no show in terms of the concert.
To me, the most important thing is to really connect to my fans. I don't have to have tons of dancers on stage or a huge production. No. I mean, I went to a lot of shows myself, and big stars, you know, Madison Square Garden, and a lot of places, and some I was disappointed at because it's just too much production. You don't feel that the real connection, the love, and it wasn't sincere to me. So in my shows, I think to be natural is the key. When you're on stage, to be honest and sincere, and to make sure that from the beginning to the end, you stay connected with them. Of course, there are moments on stage when I feel a little isolated in my own world, when I sing ballads. But even that, I feel that they're watching my expressions, and that they still keep in touch with me during the songs too. So it's just, you know, to meet and to celebrate the beauty of music and love and have fun. Just enjoy those 2 hours, 3 hours.
Fantastic. Well, let's hear a track from your new album, Metamorphose. Tarkan, tell me about the track we've just heard from your new album.
That track, it just came from out of nowhere. We were working on another track on the album. I was a little bored of it, you know, with the producer I was working with. I said, let's just write something new, you know, something different, something up-tempo. And then, you know, the song just happened in 2 hours. And the next day I wrote the lyrics. And I realized that this song really gave the right direction to the album and changed the whole sound of the album. And after this song, we reproduced all the other songs again and made them more edgy and more electronic and more pop, actually. So Vayanam Vai is an important track in the album. That's why it's the first track in the album. And
that what you just said makes a lot of sense. It does actually feel like the launching pad for the other tracks that come afterwards.
Cool, that you feel that way too.
Yeah, cool. Definitely. Lyrically, can you tell me a bit about the song? Because, you know, many of our listeners are not Turkish speaking.
It's a song about love. One-sided love, though. The girl doesn't know about the guy who's in love with the girl. So it's like me mourning to be with her, but she doesn't know about me. So Vayanam Vai means, oh mama, oh, I have to do something and to be noticed by her, otherwise I'm gonna die.
So quite serious, really, then.
Yeah.
There are serious consequences there. Well, we are expecting you in London again for your concert at Wembley on April the 13th. Are you excited about that? Do I need to ask you if you're excited?
Yes.
Okay, I'll ask you. Are you excited about
I'm always excited. It's so weird. You know, it's been 15 years since I'm professionally involved in my career. I'm always nervous before every show. And I never had a sip of alcohol or anything before I perform, so I can relax. Because the moment I'm on stage, the moment I meet my fans, the excitement just goes away, and I feel just relaxed and home. But it's been so long since I've been in London, 7 years, and I'm a little nervous. You know, I want that venue to be full and packed and have a lot of fun with my fans. So I can't wait to be in London.
I'm sure it's going to be packed at Wembley on April the 13th, without a doubt.